everybody, welcome. It's Timmy here coming to you live on my Wednesday night, Chalk Night Live. Today we are going to show you how you can transform a plain burlap banner into the centerpiece for your fall decor. And we're going to do that by utilizing some great silkscreen transfers and chalk paste from Couture. So I'm really excited to share that with you. If we've never met before, again, my name is Timmy and I am an independent Couture designer, and my passion is really teaching you how to create beautiful handmade items, even if you don't think you have a stitch of artistic ability. Because Couture is just that easy to use, and it's such a fun and exciting product that has so many different uses. So every time I come to you live, I'm always trying to come up with a different way in which you can think about using Couture on different surfaces to create different kinds of decor. Something that certainly that you're going to feel really proud about, and hopefully that your friends you're going to be really excited to be able to see you creating and designing. So one of the reasons, I'm just going to close this door here as my pup decided to come in and visit us here, make sure we don't hear any outside noise there. One of the very best reasons why I like teaching through Facebook Lives is that you have the opportunity to be involved with the decision making about what we're creating, and that is something that really inspires me to keep going and to keep having these lives to show you things. So definitely, if you hear something that you like, definitely tap on a heart and send me some love, let me know. And if you really think this is something amazing, definitely make sure you click on that little emoji with the wow face. I'd love to be able to see that. If you're just visiting us on the replay, that's awesome too. Definitely give me those thumbs up and send me those hearts as you hear things that resonate with you, because that would be really great to hear. If you know someone who you think might enjoy watching this, please feel free to go ahead and tag them in the comments. It's a great way for them to get informed about these lives, and to give them some information about how they can create home decor for themselves. Sorry, I got a few notes here that I'm taking a peek at. So let me just take a minute here to share this live here to my personal page, make sure everything is working as I hope it is. And then while we're doing that, it'd be really great if as you're watching, you share with me a little bit about where you're listening in from. So it'd be great definitely to hear that from you. So hi, nice to see you. It's great to have you here with us, Salita. It's been a long time, I believe. So so nice to see you. As I said, if you want to just type in a quick note in the comments here to let us know where you're listening in from, that'd be awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and, as I said, send this off to my personal page so I can, oops, I don't want to send it to a page, hold on. So I can also make sure that other folks get a chance to see this as well. So, all right, I'm not sure I'm doing that well enough, so that's all right, we'll let that be, no worries. Okay, so hopefully I should be able to see your comments while we're talking. If for some reason I cannot, then I will be certainly sure to answer any questions or comments that you have after we finish the live. This will, as you probably know, get recorded and stay up on my page, so definitely feel free to check this out later as well. So as I said, we are going to show you how you can transform a banner, plain old burlap banner, into something that you're going to be really excited about to have in your home for your fall decor, or maybe even to give as a gift. So I'm going to shift my camera downwards here so that we can see that, and I'll keep an eye out on comments that are coming in. And I'm just going to give my camera adjustment here a little better view so that we can see our whole surface. I think that should do it. Let's see which direction. I always want to make sure we're heading in the right direction so that you can see everything here that we're going to be working on. So what we have here are a couple things I want to point to. Let's see. I'm going to give that a little bit of a turn. There we go. All right. What we have out here is, as you can probably see, this big polka dot transfer. This is one of the new transfers that just came out from Couture. For those of you that are brand new and might not have ever heard about Couture, they provide beautiful silk screen transfers that are reusable. They have an adhesive back, and they allow you to be able to place these adhesive transfers on pretty much any surface that you want. Today we're going to be actually putting them on this burlap banner. And we're going to create a polka dot design, and then we are going to add on some letters on top of that polka dot design to say fall. So that's how we're going to transform this plain old burlap banner. Now what we use once we have the silkscreen transfer on are our chalk pastes, and Couture does have this incredible paste that comes in 29 different colors. It's so hard sometimes to choose which color you want to use. There's so many great ones. I thought because we are doing a fall theme, we should go with one of our oranges. And if you're watching, I'd love to hear your thought about if we should go with this brighter orange peel, if you can see that, or if you think this pumpkin pie orange would be better for our polka dots. So I'll let you think about that for a sec as we are talking more about the paste, and then we'll go ahead and dive right into our project. So this chalk paste, by the way, is super cool. You'll see when we open it up, we'll want to stir it and make sure that it has the consistency of like yogurt, and then we will actually use the chalk paste and apply it with a squeegee. So that will allow us to smoothly put on the chalk paste onto the silkscreen transfer. It will then transfer to the surface that we're using, and we'll lift up the transfer, throw it in a water bath until we're ready to clean it, and we can then put it back together and use it again and again and again. Generally speaking, Couture recommends that you can utilize your silkscreen transfers about a dozen different times. So lots of great surfaces that this can go on. And then once we have our silkscreen transfer polka dots on our banners, then as I said, we're going to layer on a letter on top of it to spell out fall, a letter on each banner. So that's all it takes. It's really simple, and as I said, it really is my passion to show people really just how easy it is to use our products, because it is just that easy. When you get your transfer, you'll see it's in a big plastic container here, and I am going to open this up so we can start to use it. Now, one of the things that I'm trying to decide is, as you can see, I've not used this silkscreen transfer before. It's brand new in the package. And I'm trying to decide, since I'm working on a pretty small surface, if I want to keep this transfer whole, or if I want to make it a little bit more manageable for me and actually cut it up. So there's certainly no reasons why you can't cut up your transfers, and sometimes when you're working with a larger transfer like this, it makes the most sense to do that. I'm thinking that given that our banner sizes here are fairly small, I might find it just a whole lot easier to do that in smaller pieces. So I think I'm just going to go for it and cut it. So you'll see that it is on a backer sheet here, this clear, this white backer sheet, and this is what you're going to put it back on once you're done with the transfer and once it's been cleaned. And that will allow you to keep it nice and secure so that you can use it again and again. So what I'm going to do is, just to remind myself that this is the back, I'm going to actually write the word back on a couple of corners here, because I think what I've decided is I'm going to, and I have a pen here that's not a good one. Sharpies are usually better for this, and I don't think I have one handy at my desk here. But there's enough there to be able to tell me what I should be doing here. I think I'm going to cut them into 4 squares, just thinking that that will be easiest to manage. And if you notice, we do have half circles around the outside edges already, so I can either try to stay outside of the circles, or I can just go ahead and cut them in half. I think that's what I'm going to do, just to keep both sides pretty even. If you're really particular, you can certainly get out a ruler and or use a paper cutter if you have it. But you know, one of the nice things about these transfers is that they're pretty flexible, and it shouldn't be too stressful to do work with our product. So I'm not going to stress too much about the fact about whether or not that it's exactly square or not. All right, so I've got 2 now pieces. I'm going to get 1 more. Whoops. I've got a little cloth here on my desk to be able to keep things settled. I have been dying to try out this transfer ever since we got it. So I'm super excited that I'm getting an opportunity to do that with you today live. Certainly, I said, as you're watching, please feel free to shout out, say hi, send me a heart if you see something you like. Let me know if you're as crazy about polka dots as I am. One of the cool things, as I said, is this chalk paste comes in so many different colors, and you can reuse this transfer and choose any color that you like. So right now we're doing a fall theme on our banners. But probably, as you know, banners are 2-sided. So if you wanted to do one side for fall and do the other side in a different color, maybe for Christmas with red polka dots, for instance, you could definitely go for it. So that's really fun. It's not only do you have it for one season, but it could be for multiple. That's always exciting. I haven't chosen yet which color. Does anybody have a choice before I get started and open one or the other? So as a reminder, this is the orange peel. It's a little bit brighter, as you can see. And then we've got this pumpkin pie, which is a little deeper, richer orange. What do you think? Anybody have a comment, suggestion, idea? All right. Since I am not hearing any at the moment, I think I'm going for the lighter color. But definitely know that there are some options available. So when you first open a new chalk paste container, you'll see that it's got a little silver seal here. So we want to remove that seal before we obviously use it. And I am a nail biter, as you probably can tell, and have no nails. So I'm not going to be able to pull this up, but thankfully I have a pair of scissors here handy. So I'm just going to give this a little poke to get this started. There we go. I heard a little psh, psh. And I have these little handy stirrers here that I'm going to use to pull up and pull this off. Now, chalk paste goes an incredibly long way, which is awesome. You only need a little to use on your project. So this 3-ounce paste costs $12.99, and it'll last quite some time. So you can just use it over and over again. I'm reaching down below here to put my cover. Awesome. In the garbage. Got a little on my fingers. Chalk paste is water soluble, so it is washable. If you're putting it on a surface like our burlap here, I certainly wouldn't put this burlap outside, but you probably wouldn't either. But it does dry hard and will stay pretty intact unless you mix it with water and clean it up with a cloth. So for this project, that is absolutely fine, so I have no worries. As I mentioned before, when you first open your chalk paste, you want to give it a little bit of a stir. It should be about yogurt consistency. Now this one's brand new, spanking new. This orange peel just came out again as part of the new fall colors that we released on July 1st. And it literally just arrived in my mailbox this week. So the timing was excellent. Yesterday, as a matter of fact. So exciting getting a delivery of new Couture items, because I'm always excited about what's coming in. All right, I'm going to put that off to the side here. So I don't need that at the moment. And we're just going to start chalking. It's really just fast and easy. Super simple. You'll see here in just a sec. I think I'm going to hold out 3. I have, by the way, 6. So I'm going to spell out fall in the middle 4, and on either end I'm just going to leave them plain polka dots. So you can do whatever you want. You could certainly use black, or you could use a combination of black and white, or black and orange. All of that would look really awesome. You can totally decide what works best for you. And I'm just gonna remove the silk screen transfer from the back of the backer sheet there. And we are going to, let's see if I can combine two, get them close together here on my sheet just to make it a little bit easier. Now, by the way, if you're wondering where it is, I got these banners. I ordered them on Amazon. So if you are a sewer, you could certainly make your own. There's lots of great tutorials available on Pinterest to do that. Let's see. How did I do in terms of, so we're not going to be quite long enough to get them both. So I would prefer to have as much of these covered with polka dots because I love polka dots. So I am going to just do one at a time. Whoops. I laid this down on my desk here. So let me just move this over so you can see things a little bit better right here in the center. All right, and here we go. Just gonna place it right over and pat it down. And if you can see, the only areas obviously that I'm worried about are the ones that are showing the burlap. And we have some that are overlapping. If I don't like where this is spaced, I can certainly pick it up, move it, and reposition it. So that's definitely possible. I'm gonna actually just, since it's also here on my towel, I'm going to move this. I think I'm going to move it off my towel. I think it'll be a little, nah, you know what? I'm afraid if I move it off my towel, I'm going to get chalk paste all over my desk. And I think I'd prefer not to do that. So I'm just going to lay this back down, but keep one of these pieces up and out of the way. So we want to just press this down, make sure that it's pretty firmly pressed down, that we don't have any bubbles, because we want to have good adherence to the banner. I'm going to take just a piece of my squeegee. Now we do have a couple of squeegees options available for you, so let me tell you a little bit about those. This is the new squeegee that just came out, and it's vertical in shape, and so it's got kind of a tapered edge here at the bottom. It fits nicely right inside the jar, and you can use that to bring it down, which now that I'm thinking about it, might be my best choice for today. We also have this great multi-purpose tool that can be used for some smaller areas where you need to get in. It also is excellent as a stirrer to stir up your chalk paste. And the other option we have, actually there's two other options we have, one of which I don't own, but this is really awesome. This is going to make really fast work out of doing this, and so that might be something that we consider instead of using the small one. So I say, let's try them both and see which one we like better, because sometimes you just don't know until you try. So I'm going to start with the small squeegee, like I said, and I'm just going to dip some in, and then I'm going to take it and I'm going to rub it across our spots. Now, I could just worry about the few places that the circles are, but I don't want to work too hard, as I said. This isn't really rocket science. So I'm covering just those polka dots that are on my banner. And you can see, because it is fabric, it is soaking in. This particular chalk paste color I'm noticing is pretty thin. Some are thicker than others depending on the pigment that's used for the color. But this one's going on really nice and smooth. And it's definitely getting nicely soaked up into the burlap. So I'm liking that a lot. And I'm going to put my little guy aside, and now we're just going to pull this up and lift it up and off of this burlap. Now if you lift it up and it's not enough paste for you, you'd like it to be a little bit thicker, you can actually just put it back down. But one of the reasons why I really love burlap is that it is very rustic. And I am liking the amount that I'm seeing here. So I am going to go with it. Now, I hope you can see that because that's pretty cool. I love how that came out. Now I am doing this kind of blind in that I have never used this transfer before. I have used our chalk paste on burlap, and I'll show you that project if you'd like in a little bit. But this is the first time that I'm using it on these cute little banners. Now, the other thing that you should know is that you can reuse your banner, your transfer, without washing it in between. I probably would suggest not doing that more than once or twice. And I'm going to move this off and let this, kind of nice, it's on this little string here already, and dry. And then we're going to go on to the next one. So we've got 4 of these. Now, one of the things that you'll notice is if you see the back of my transfer, I do have a little bit of the burlap sticking to the back. Again, not too much worry. I'm just going to go ahead and peel some of that off. I have a big piece here that I want to get rid of because it's right in the middle of the circle. And I'm going to want that circle to stick. I think that's why that was that one polka dot that did not have a full circle on it, because it got a piece of burlap fiber stuck to it. All right. You want to be careful that you don't have there we go, transfer stick to itself. Now I can move this over here if I want, and allow me to kind of press this down without getting this goop all over my fingers. And then you can also use your squeegee to press it down if you need to as well. And you know what, I just want to make sure we have a pretty good adherence. One of the tricky things about reusing it, I'm noticing, is that it's a little hard to see where your burlap is. So keep that in mind as you are watching and thinking about how you might do this yourself. And we're going to start with number 2. Now this one, as I said, we kind of went to the edge of our transfer. Groovy. Looks like it's working pretty well. Now chalk paste is going to dry, as I said, it dries hard and permanent. When you're working on your surface, you do want to move fairly quickly because you don't want it to dry on your transfer before you have a chance to pull it up. Let's see if I can find the edge of my, here we go, I think it's right there. So this is going to take probably a little bit more paste than normal. If you're working on a chalkboard surface, for instance, you might not use quite so much. And here we go, reveal number 2. And I think since we've used this one now twice, I'm going to go ahead and throw it in my water bath and pick up a new. Whoop. I think we're stuck to my towel as well as my burlap. Here we go. Voila, there is number 2. Excellent, excellent. We've got a lot of burlap left on this guy, so I'm just going to stick him in the water bath here and let him get some of that chalk paste off. Once we've gotten the chalk paste off the transfer in the water bath, then I'll just take a cloth, a disinfectant cloth, like a Clorox cloth or something like that, and clean up the excess chalk paste on it. So we've got 2 of our 6 here done. And we're just going to repeat. So you can see, as I promised, I will try out the big. I got a couple of, as you know, extra options over here. Hey Michelle, welcome. Nice to have you. Thanks for joining us. we are working on creating a burlap banner using our polka dot transfer, silkscreen transfer. And as I did before, I think I'm going to use one side and we'll overlap a little bit on the other. And we're ready, so we're placing our transfer down, making sure it's adhered pretty well to our surface. And then let's try out our bigger squeegee. Now in this instance, obviously my squeegee is not going to fit into my chalk paste container. So that might be the thing that's going to decide what's going to work best, but I'll put a little bit on and we'll use this to pull through and see if it gives us as much control as we want. I'm thinking I like the smaller one better so I can see more of what's going on. That's my feeling. So I'm going to head back to my small one. But when you're working on a really large surface, this big guy is the bomb. Let me just stick him in water there now that I squeezed off the rest. And finish again. This guy finished. So again, just want to make sure that you go over this and get those polka dots rubbed into that burlap. And by the way, you'll probably notice when you look at the polka dots up close that they're not clear circles. They're not meant to be. As I mentioned, it's really more of a rustic feel and look. And that's what you'll get when you use this transfer, is more of that rustic look. All right, good thing I have a cloth under here, otherwise I'd be having chalk paste all over my desk. All right, here we go. Here's the reveal. Dun, dun, dun. I'm just loving these polka dots. Now, if you are interested in learning some other ways in which you can use this great polka dot transfer, I have started to build some photo albums on my Facebook VIP page. So if you're interested in joining my VIP page and getting some product specials, as well as get first news about new releases, or even any special offers or discounts that I'm offering, the VIP group is where I do that. So I'm on my business page right now going live, but it's my VIP group where I'm able to offer some of those special deals. So if you're interested in joining my VIP group, just go ahead and type the word join in and I will be sure to add you. I won't do it without your permission, so definitely let me know if you'd like. And that way you'll be able to not only get first access to information about all things new with Couture, but you'll also have some great project inspirations with our different transfers, because I'm going to be putting up albums that will help you to see that. So here we go. I'm going to turn this around. I kind of like that I cut this. I'm glad I did. I think it's making my life a little bit easier. We can move a little bit faster. And I have a feeling that when I use this transfer going forward, I'm going to be using it on all kinds of surfaces. And even if I were doing a big thing like a pillowcase, for instance, which would be really fun to have a polka dot pillow, don't you think? I can just go ahead and overlap or layer those different pieces. So that would be really easy to do and much easier to work with, I think, on this smaller surface. The other thing that I have seen, and if you look on Pinterest for ideas about polka dot decor, you might get inspiration like I do about all the places that you can add polka dots to. But even if you use burlap ribbon and you want to decorate your own ribbon in your choice of colors and add them to packages, that would be something fun that you could do. If you want to make your own wrapping paper with the polka dot transfers, that would be really fun. You can get the brown butcher paper and add chalk paste to that. If you do want to use it on fabric, these are just so cute. They're coming out super well. I was not really positive how we were going to make out, and I'm happy to say it is working exactly as I had hoped. one of the great things about chalk couture. It always seems like it is going to just work out, and it always does. And if you don't like it and you don't think it's going to work out, you can simply erase it if you're using it on a chalkboard surface and try again. So easy. As I said, it's water soluble, so you have that option. All right, I still have a couple of sides here that we haven't even used, so I'm just going to keep using this same one. It's not seeming to cause a problem, which I love. That is awesome. So definitely, as you're watching, if you're thinking that this looks like fun, please feel free to drop me a heart or emoji, make a comment, let me know where you're listening in from. I'd love to be able to hear a little bit about you as well. Paula, welcome. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us today. Awesome. I'm just loving these polka dots. Paula, have you gotten these yet and started to play around with them at all? This banner idea has been brewing in my mind ever since I saw this transfer come out, and I'm so excited to be doing it with you together live here so we can test out how fun it is to work with these polka dots. As I said, one of the tricky things a little bit is not knowing exactly where my banner starts and ends. Now that we've got chalk paste on all corners, I can't quite see through in the same way that I was before. Of course, it might also be partly because I can't see that well, but I do have my glasses on, so I should be able to see something. Okay, at number 5, we just have one more to go. And let's go ahead and pull this up. And if you're just joining us and you kind of want to see a little bit better the clean and transfer, I'm going to go ahead and stick this one in the water bath, and we'll use one more clean one. And then we're going to head over and add our letters, and we will be done with this project. It's going to be just that fast and just that simple. All right, let's move this guy over and give me one more place to work. Now, of course, this is going to need to dry here a little bit, and I'm hoping that as we're working one on the other, they're drying in between, and we'll be able to add those. And they seem to be. I'm looking at some of the early ones, and it looks like they're drying up pretty nicely. So we should be able to add our letters in our next phase here. All right, last one, here it is. I'm loving this bright orange. I hope it was a good choice. I know, Paula, once you start using them, it's gonna be hard not to keep going. All right, here we go. Last piece. And I'm gonna be stingy. I'm just gonna put it right in the middle. Get a lot of polka dots on there. Just give it a good press, and then drag the chalk paste over the surface. Now watching me, don't you think this is something that you could do? I have to say that I often run into people when I'm at shows and talking to them about chalk couture. Many of them think, I can't do that. It's just too hard. And I have them try it, and immediately they are amazed at how awesome the chalk paste and the silkscreen transfers are. And they think about all the different ways in which they can use it to create decor or make items to give as gifts. So it's lots of fun. All right. And we are just about done. I have a friend, one of our mentors, as a matter of fact, one of the leaders in our company. She's a great woman. She calls herself Jessie Messy. Messy Jessie, excuse me. Isn't that funny? She'll laugh at me when she hears this. Let's make sure she watches so I can tell her. Because she's always going outside the lines or spilling stuff, and it doesn't matter. All of her designs are always just spot on and beautiful. And that's just one of the great things about chalk couture. You don't have to be perfect because the products are perfect. All right, here we go. Last one. Now that it's sticking to my towel, I gotta also pull it off my towel, so I apologize. Yeah, since I'm done with that orange here, let's move it off just so that I don't spill it by accident as I'm pulling it off. Blah, 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 blah. It is almost done. The final reveal. I got my crazy dishcloth here. It's in the way. All right. Wow. Super awesome. What do you think, guys? So the first round is done. And my last transfer there is in my water bath. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 over here. All right, that is all good. Now these last ones here are the ones we just worked on, so we're gonna deal with those last. We want to give that orange a chance to dry before we put another layer of a different colored chalk paste with the letter on top. Now, one of the things that you can do if you're interested in hurrying drying time is you can get out a embossing tool if you have one, if you're a scrapbooker. We have lots of scrapbookers who love Chalk Couture, so they have the embossing tool and they can use that to heat dry, or just simply use a hairdryer. A little piece of extra string there on my burlap. Another one here, I'm going to just snip it off. There we go. And touching those, they look pretty good. Now, the warmer that it is, if it's humid, it's going to take a little bit longer to dry, so just keep that in mind. If you want to wait and just to ensure that everything is super dry before you go ahead and do your next layer, that's always the best choice. I am just way too impatient for that. So the hair dryer option is a good one if you need it, or just make sure that you are touching it to make sure everything, a couple little pieces here that were in the way. All right, I'm going to move this over here just a little bit farther off to the side so we can start working on our letters. So as I mentioned, my first one, I am not going to put a letter on, I'm just going to leave it plain. It's just going to be the polka dots, and then it's going to be my 4 center ones here that I'm going to put our letters onto. So we're going to use letters from our font. So we have F-A-L, so we're going to use our L twice, of course. And I'm going to put this little squeegee in the water bath here, and I'm also going to throw my little dipper in here and going to cover up my orange chalk paste here so it doesn't dry up. So, all right. So just make sure that when you're done using your chalk paste that you dry the surface there. Don't have too much extra chalk paste on the outside rim. That will help make sure that your chalk paste stays fresh and reusable. A couple little spots here that I'm just gonna get rid of. So now can you see kind of where we're headed? Looking pretty good, huh? Don't you think? All right, so these letters actually are from the Harmon Slab font, I believe is the name of it. They are about 2-inch letters, so they're going to be perfect, I think, for this banner size. I'm going to like it a lot. I am going to use black for our letters because I was kind of thinking fall, I was kind of thinking Halloween-ish. So I think that the black is going to really stand out nicely, and I just love how black and burlap go together. It's kind of that nice look. So that's what we're going to go for. We do, of course, have black chalk paste. Here we go. And I'm going to just grab a stirrer here quick. You can see that this one doesn't have a lot in it, but as we've said, our chalk paste does kind of, you know, go a long way. So we're not going to need tons, and we're only doing 4 letters. So we should be in pretty good shape. Now, I'm just going to give this a little touch. And these all seem pretty dry on this guy, so I think we're ready for our F. Now, one of the things that you may have heard me say in the past is when you're using a new transfer that you want to fuzz the transfer. Because we're working on burlap, and burlap has already a lot of fibers, we don't have to really worry about that. This isn't going to be too hard to pull up. So keep that in mind. You know what? I'm going to just also just mark this with the letter so I know. Really need to find my Sharpie. All right, and here we go. We're gonna put this F on right where we want it. Now I like to stand up when I'm working here a little, so I'm gonna stand, although I know you can't see me. Now what's really nice is that I can also see the seam here, so I can use that seam to help line up where I want this to go. And we're just gonna take a little bit of paste. Don't need a lot. And I'm gonna take a smaller squeegee. Now I've actually taken one of our squeegees and cut it just to give me a little bit more coverage. A little more flexibility. I like to have a little flexibility when I'm working. And that also can get right in that little container there. Now don't worry if once you pull off this transfer and you wash it that some of the black ink residue remains. The black in particular tends to stain our transfers a little bit, but it doesn't affect you being able to use them again. So it just gives you a little bit of a stain. Look at that, look at that, look at that, how beautiful. Oh, perfect, perfect, what do you think? I love the reveals. It's always so fun to see what it's going to look like when we pull it up. All right, we're ready for the A. Let me just give this a little touch. Make sure that we're pretty dry. This one looks pretty good. Again, if you get a little impatient, just go ahead and use your blow dryer. That will work. The problem with no fingernails is I can't pull this off the backer. Sign of luck, you're not seeing me struggle with pulling this off the backer. Okay, here we go. Oh, I got it. Okay. And again, I'm going to use that seam line there to figure out where I want that to fit. And we just want to make sure we've got some good adherence on that screen. Now you can use that little makeup stirrer here like I am, or you can just stick your squeegee right in the paste jar. Now of course in my alphabet I only have one L. I don't know, but so it's going to be a little bit fun to put that L on and reuse it again, but we will. Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Look at how beautiful that is. Just gonna plop that in the water bath. And we're gonna head to our L next. Again, we're in pretty good shape about that. We'll go ahead and add our L. Little touch. Looking pretty good. Now if you are you a little bit more particular about your spacing, we do have some great like washi tape type available that you can order, which will help you line up things. And we had 2 new fonts that also just came out this new release as well, and they actually have some marking spots right on them, which will make it really easy to use when you're trying to create words with our letters. And here's the L. Just gonna scoot this over a tad bit so that we can get over here to this guy, and he looks pretty good as well. And voila, put that down, and we are just about finished with this project. Gonna just make sure we got this L pretty well covered. And if you just heard that snoring, it wasn't me. my pups here joining us for the live, and I just heard a big snore. I don't know if it came across in my audio, but she is snoring. Looks like I didn't quite get the bottom of that L enough, so before I pull this all the way back up, I'm just going to give this a little bit more of a once over. Again, because of the burlap, it needs a little bit extra. Normally we'd squeegee a lot of this off, but I want that to stay nice and crisp. The same thing here with just that little bit of the L at the top. There we go. Perfect. There we go. Now that's it. We are done. So we'll be able to hang this from our mantle or put it outside if you have undercover and put it out with some pumpkins. I'll be sure to take some pictures once I get this all up in my house so you can see what it all looks like. But I hope that you found this to be fun, to be able to see how you can use our great polka dot transfers, selection transfers, and our fonts to be able to create and transform a plain old burlap banner into something really spectacular that you're really going to love to have at your house. So thanks again so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure to have you with me. If you would like to know when I am headed live, the best way to do that is to subscribe. I try to come live to you every Wednesday, usually around this time. Occasionally some other work commitments or travel will keep me from being able to do that, but most often you'll see me here on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time, but definitely subscribe so you'll know when I'm coming up again. And if you'd like to receive those special offers or get project ideas or learn about any new product releases, just go ahead and comment me, M-E, in the box, and I'll add you to my VIP group. And if you think what I'm doing looks like fun and you're interested in learning more about becoming a Chalk Couture designer and being part of my team, feel free to go ahead and comment, join. I'd love to be able to talk to you about the great things that you can do with Chalk Couture. So thanks everyone again for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and see you next time at Live. Bye.